I think we may be live now. I'm still yet to see the notification as usual. Hello guys. I think we are live now, so let me just get the audio checks. Hello guys. Yeah. I think we are live now, so let me just... Beautiful, beautiful. So, it's good to see that there's people already watching this, for sure. And we're gonna do some more Rust today. I hope you guys are ready for it. I'm just finishing some chocolate. Like it's been a long day. I've got the biggest sweet tooth ever, so apologies, that was a weird noise. So we're going to continue working on what we were working last time, which is the Rust port of Urchin, Golang Urchin, right? Hello, Random Nerd. It's good to see you here again, my man. This is really nice to know that people that are actually enjoying the series. This is the last bit of chocolate. There won't be any more like eating noises after that, I promise. But let me just open a incognito so you can browse today. And what we're going to do today is basically adding support, adding databases to the app, right? Because if you go into the Urchin, you can see that the entire application is basically a wrapper around SQL databases. So the database is what's actually holding things like the post, the pages, the information, metadata on images and stuff, and that's basically it. And the application itself just shows, those posts in a nice way. I realized that in the last stream, I also did not show you guys what it actually looks like in Golang now, right now. Because we can actually run Urchin. So if I do a Docker compose, I'm just going to spawn the Golang application so you guys can actually see what it looks like. And you can get an idea of what we're trying to do. Because I just realized that for some reason we were doing this for about 2 hours in the last stream. And I didn't show you guys a single time what the app that we're trying to kind of port actually looks like. It's nothing too fancy, but it's nice having like an idea, a visual model of what we're trying to do, right? So, yeah. Is it kill, stop, MariaDB? I just know that I have to stop MariaDB somehow. And yeah, sudo system ctl stop MariaDB. There you go. Now I can do Docker compose up, and hopefully we'll be able to see the actual application. So this is what the spawning of the Docker compose looks like. So this Docker compose is basically creating 2 Docker instances. One of them is holding the MariaDB database, which is what actually stores the whole posts, pages, and all the data that we need for the application. And then we also have an admin app here that actually does the application, right? So if I went to localhost now, port 8080, this is what the app actually looks like. So you can post these things, you can create new posts with Markdown. So all the posts here are stored in Markdown. All the pages are basically stored as Markdown documents, and it works fairly well, I would say. So you add these things through the admin application. There is like a contact page here we do have some sort of like integration with Google Recapture as well. If it was enabled, I just haven't enabled it. It does support images. You can load images and have pages for them and stuff. There are things that are still not supported, like the about pages and stuff, but that's work for later. And this is all done in Golang. So right, the idea for these streams that we're doing now is to port some of that to Rust and see how nice it actually looks like. With that said, I hope you guys are doing very well, and welcome to the stream again. So in today's stream, I actually want to go over how we can integrate databases, or more specifically, how we're going to integrate SQL databases into this, right? Because the Go application here, what we did is we use an app called Goose. So Goose is a Golang application that runs the migrations of the database, right? So for those who don't know, migrations of a database are essentially like different files that can get your database up to a certain point. So like you basically create the database from the ground up, and it's kind of like it solves the problem of being able to kind of migrate the database, being able to kind of spawn an application from zero, and yeah, it works very well with that. So we use Goose to create those migrations. Obviously, we can't use this in Rust. There's probably a better application actually written in Rust, so we're going to find an alternative for that. And this is what a migration may look like, right? So if we look at, for example, add post table SQL, this is the first ever migration that we wrote for this application. It just creates a table that hosts a post or post data, and you can see here we've got like an ID for the primary key, the content itself, which is just markdown, which is just text, and the title for it, right? And you can see that every file adds like something new to it. So this one here inserts a post, so a test post into the database, and it basically does that. And it gets more complicated every time. So we have even like a more complicated example, which actually has an excerpt as well. So we must have added that excerpt to the page. We have an images table for some reason, even though I don't think we use that anymore, but it's still here. And yeah, I mean, our job is to basically replicate this whole thing in Rust now, right? So the first thing I'm going to find is a library that actually allows us to integrate SQL into Rust. Now, I do already know of some ORM libraries in Rust. One of them is Diesel. I don't know which one is better. And the other very big one is CMS, right? So these two libraries are very, very big, and they are used by everyone to integrate databases into their Rust applications. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not sure if you know what ORMs are. I've never, ever used an ORM. Up until this point, I've always used raw SQL queries inside my code, which, it's not very flexible, I must say. So it's very difficult for example, if you wanted to change your database layout, you also have to change your Rust application, right? But with ORMs, is that supposed to be easier? That's my question. SQL C. So hello, Nanoke. SQL C is not the library I've used. SQL C. Is this a type save? What is this written in? Compile SQL to type save code. Yeah, so SQL C seems to be an ORM, right? So SQL C generates fully type safe idiomatic code for SQL. Yeah, so that's, as far as I understand, ORMs do exactly this. They, you give in your description of your database and it generates some like Rust files or whatever language it is, like C files, I guess. I don't know what SQL C actually does. But yeah, my point is I've never really used it, and I keep getting told by people that it makes life a lot easier working with ORMs. So I thought, let's actually do this properly. And as we're porting this application here, or Urchin, which is actually in here, into Rust, let's also change the backend a little bit, so we actually use ORMs instead of just raw SQL, right? So I think that's going to be a lot nicer. Now, the first thing we're going to do is maybe spend like a few minutes reading about CeaORM and then Diesel, because these are two of the biggest ORMs libraries or crates for Rust. So let's take a look at them, right? Starting with Diesel. So Diesel is a safe, extensible ORM and query builder for Rust. Diesel is the most productive way to interact with databases in Rust because of its safe and composable abstraction over queries. So let's just read some of his points here, and then we'll take a look at the examples, because in the end, like, I'm not sure about you guys, but when I'm looking for a library to use, when I'm looking for a crate to use, I go straight to the example and see which one looks the easiest. And if performance matters, then I look at the data, but you know, you never know. Why Rust? Is it just for the experience? Yes, basically none. Okay, it's just for the experience. So I was actually a Rust developer for about a year and 3 months-ish, up until recently where I moved projects. And I've not coded in Rust for about 2 or 3 months now, and I really miss it. So I thought, you know, let's do a stream. And I also don't want to, you know, stop writing Rust because I want to remember it. And the thing with programming, as I said that on the last stream, is like, if you know a language and then you stop doing that language for a long period of time, you will forget it. And I'm trying to avoid that, basically. And also Rust is a good library to, is a good language to have, you know, the experience with. It's kind of new and supposed to be safe. I mean, whether you agree with that or not, I mostly agree, but yeah. Anyway, so why did we make Diesel? Preventing runtime errors. We don't want to waste time tracking down runtime requirements. We achieve this by having Diesel eliminate the possibility of incorrect database interactions at compile time. So this looks good so far. I mean, if they do a lot of checks at compile time, I'm happy with that. I want to know how they do these things at compile time though. So like, how do they check that my interaction with the database is valid at compile time? Because that is interesting. Anyway, build for performance. Diesel offers a high level query builder and lets you think about your problems in Rust, not SQL. Our focus on non-zero cost abstractions allow Diesel to run your query and load your data even faster than C. Ooh, that is a big claim. That's a big claim indeed. So productive and extensible. Unlike Active Record and other ORMs, Diesel is designed to be abstracted over. Diesel enables you to write reusable code and think in terms of your problems and domains and not SQL. So this straight away tells me that you can basically override or implement their trades onto your data, and things will just work kind of nicely. That's good. Got a message. Nanoki, I'm currently learning Go. Have built very simple REST APIs, but that's about it. Any projects ideas for that teach Go pretty well? Yeah, to be honest, REST APIs are pretty good from what I understand. You know, most of the jobs I've seen in Go are basically just doing a backend for a service or a backend for a company somewhere. So I feel like, you know, if you're learning backends and if you're learning how to write REST APIs, you're doing it right. I think that's the main application of Go. I mean, you can do something like this. So think about an application that you want to create and then make it. So I thought, you know, I kind of like CMSs, like content management systems. I've been using like WordPress. I have used like market ones before, like e-commerce ones before. I've used Joomla as well, which is another like blogging one. And I always kind of wanted to write my own. So that's why I started this project here, because I just wanted to write something that will enable me to kind of create posts and create pages and display that, right? So that's where the whole thing came in here. But, you know, you can think of almost any app, dude, and then just, my advice is just go and make it. Just like think of something that you'd enjoy and then go and make it, because that's how you will learn the most, to be honest. You know, every sort of reasonable application is complex enough that you'll probably touch most of the problems. So yeah, make a CLI application. CLI applications, there you go. I learned a lot of new things about Go when I make a CLI application. Yeah, that's a good one as well. That's even like easier to get into because you probably don't need that many dependencies compared to like a web backend, right? I want to remove that heart thing again. So let's hide that. So yeah, I'm just going to look at the simple queries here. Simple queries are complete breeze. Loading all users from the database. So you've got users, table.load. Yeah, but like, how does it know to create this code? Because I'm assuming, you know, that you tell it somehow that your database kind of looks like this. There's a users table, and yeah, you want to load all the users from it. Loading all the posts for a user. So post belonging to user. That's pretty good though. I like that. Complex queries. Let's see that this one. Diesel's powerful query builder helps you construct queries as simple or complex as you need at zero cost, right? Let's see this one. So we have a versions belonging to create. Select ID. You select the IDs of all the versions of create and order them in descending order and limit by 5. I like this. And the executed query, let's see what this actually does. So let downloads, version downloads dot filter. Wait, where's version downloads from? Filter date greater than now minus 90 days, 90.days. Filter version ID order, okay. So what is this doing? This is getting all the versions for a create, getting all the IDs for them, ordering them by the descending order in IDs and getting the first 5, right? Yeah, descending order, getting the highest IDs, the 5 highest IDs from the looks of it. And I can only assume that versions were supposed to be here, not version downloads. So from those versions, we filter the ones that are in the least 90 days. And the filter version ID equals any version. Don't know what that does. But anyway, I mean, we can probably work out from the SQL data, the SQL stuff here. So what I'm doing, select version downloads, not everything, where the date is now minus 90 days. So the date is within 90 days. And the version ID is any of select ID from versions where create, okay. Yeah, I can't really tell what this does, but I guess it kind of filters the versions of the downloads of a crate somehow. So it gets all the versions downloaded for any crate or a crate within the 90 days where crate ID equals 1. Okay, interesting. No, I can't understand this. But anyway, let's look at the boilerplate code. Diesel's CodeGen generates boilerplate for you. It lets you focus on your business logic, not mapping to and from SQL. Yeah, this is what I was interested in, because somehow you got to tell Diesel, this is my database, this is what it looks like. Generate all the functions for me, like all the functions to get versions and whatnot. So with Diesel, we derive queryable download. So you create a structure, you have all the IDs here instead of this. That means you can write this instead of this. Okay, so they give you, it's just saying that they give you some sort of like a macro that will turn the structure into, or implement the from row stuff for you, I guess, right? I like that. Okay, it doesn't look too bad. Now let's take a look at CORM, because this is another big one. So CORM is a relational ORM to help you build web services in Rust. Now there is an advantage here, is that CORM uses, I think, SQLX under the hood. And I have actually used SQLX under the hood. There you go, relying on SQLX. SQLX is just like a really good sort of like SQL driver for Rust. So if you've done Go before and you've used like SQL drivers in Go, SQLX is just one of them. And it does also have migrations on it. That's why I'm saying that, because I know that SQLX has migrations, built in with it. I'm not sure if these will have that, but we'll figure out. So, right, let's get started here and see. So dynamic built upon C query, CORM allows you to build complex dynamic queries. Cool. I mean, basically the same stuff as the other one. Testable. Use mock connections and SQLite to write tests for your application. I like that already. I mean, Diesel didn't really say that they provide any of that, like mocking stuff, but we'll figure it out. So service oriented. Quickly build services that join, filter, and sort, paginate data in REST, GraphQL, and gRCP calls. Cool. So there you go, a quick taste of CORM. I like this a little bit better than this one here, because you have to like click through and stuff, and the examples seem quite big, to be honest. I'm not sure what you guys think about it. When I look at examples for like libraries and stuff, I kind of prefer the ones that are extremely simple because it just means that I'm going to have less of a hard time actually trying to use that library. So that's what I look for when I, see people's like GitHub projects, or when I have to like give feedback to someone. I always look at how easy do your examples look. So this is a tip for you guys that are like interviewing now, by the way. So if you're doing an interview and you have to write some code, make sure that you write some examples and they are extremely simple to use. None okay. Okay. There's nothing on it, dude. I cannot see. What kind of CLI applications? Okay. That's weird. We got like an empty message here. Like, what did you even send, my man? So entity. So we derive clone debug partial equal and derive entity model. So pub struct model CRM primary key. Okay, so you got to say what the primary key is here, and I guess it generates all of the model table code here for you to get or whatever. So model relation. Derive a bunch of the same stuff. And relation. CORM has many superfruit entity. I have no idea what this means, but yeah. So import, yeah, with this one here, you do have to do some implementations of traits, which is interesting. On the node, you can make a CLI application as simple as a HTTP status checker, like ping command. Yeah, random node, that's a good idea, actually. That's a very like beginner-friendly project right there. So you create some like application that will parse arguments. So obviously we'll be taking like the website URL and stuff. There will be like a HTTP client, internally, so you can make requests and stuff, and a retry logic and stuff. Yeah, I like that project. I'm gonna start recommending that kind of stuff to to beginners instead of just telling them to go straight into making a web application. Okay, I don't really. It looks like Diesel in this particular case here would be easier to use because it gives you a macro that is just kind of very nice. Like you just put that in your struct and it generates all of the ORM code for you. With this one here, you have to like implement some stuff, entity. The truth is I don't really know what this is doing, so but let's look at select. We like cakes, which is a vector of cake model. Cake find ODB await. So this is selecting all of the cakes, and chocolate cakes. We're going to find, filter all the column, all the names that contain chocolate, and it doesn't look that hard to use, to be honest. It looks quite easy. And then we do cheese, find one model, cheese, which is an option of a cake model, find by ID 1. And then we get one connection for the DB. I don't know what .1 and .all do. We're going to find out. Find related models lazy. Yeah, this is good. This is good that it does like lazy evaluation, because that's what I'm looking for as well. I don't want to run the entire query and get everything at once. I just want to get like the first n ones. Find related through all. Ah, okay. So there's the one that looks easier by default does lazy. Wait, I don't really understand here. So what's the difference? Find related. So cheese, cake find. Yeah, I don't know what the difference is here. So CORM plus GraphQL. Oh, we're not really going to use GraphQL, but I guess we can figure. So he uses them. A lot of people use CORM, which is nice. And okay, yeah, they have some big sponsors though, which is good. Anyway, I don't know. What do we do now? This one has a nice little tutorial here. This one didn't. It's all right, I guess. Can we do migrations on this one? Yeah, this will create a database and create empty migrations directory. So these are those have migrations in it, which is pretty good. Does this have migrations? Well, it does, because we have SQLX under the hood, and that has migrations. I don't know, dude. What do you guys think? Which one should I pick? Type 1 for Diesel, 1.2 for CUrchin. I mean, I'm kind of leaning myself towards CORM, sorry. But not because it's nicer to use. I think they're both fairly easy to use, right? I'm leaning towards CORM because urchin is a sea animal, so it goes quite nicely with CORM, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, this is just me being an idiot here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for the pun. I'm gonna go for the CORM because we have urchin as the name of the project. So let's go for that, right? Async programming, installation, and configuration. Let's go for the first thing here. So what do we need to do? Database and async runtime. So thank you for using. Also, we don't want any more oil on our sea. Yeah, that's true, Arkonaf. And well, welcome to the stream, Arkonaf. I love you, man. It's good to see you again, man. I hope you had a very nice weekend. So no diesel, go CORM. Yeah, that's true, yeah. I like that. I like that. That just reminded me of the... Oh, what was that oil leak ages ago? It was in Mexico, right? Or something, like 2011. I swear that lasted for years, man. That was terrible. I still remember seeing pictures of like little penguins and stuff with oil on them, and it was terrible. Yeah, so you know, don't use diesel. So yeah, let's go for this one. So first add CORM to the dependencies of cargo toml. Yeah, we're gonna do that. So we're on version 1.0x. So create.io CORM. CORM. I just want to get the latest version. We're on 0 here, but in here we're release candidate 5. I'm just gonna get this one. Oh no, yeah, I'm just gonna copy this one here. Same version. Day of Redemption. I see you're rusting away. Away again. Yeah, sorry, Al. I fancied writing some more Rust. I will try and go back to Golang on the next stream, or the next 2 streams, because I think next stream might actually be a C++ one for the gaming one, the gaming engine. Because I managed to fix one of the bugs, so I'll have to like do some more work on that. But I've not forgotten about you, Al, and I've not forgotten about Golang. We will go back to Urchin eventually. Thank you. It's also great to be here, Arkonaf. This place is starting to feel more like an inn I can rest. Thank you, my man. I'm glad that I provide you the good experiences. My mind wanders into the noise and I can find peace. Dude, yeah. We should work together, Arkonaf. Then you can hear my voice all day. And you won't do any work though, because you'll be falling asleep from the sounds of it. I'm planning on creating a new application with Rust. I'm done with Java now, right now. I'm so done with Java right now. Are you? But what about your job, Al? Do you still do like Java in your job? But yeah, dude, Rust is pretty good. I mean, I like it, and I was very skeptical of it. I'm gonna tell you something, guys. I was very skeptical, very, very skeptical of Rust when I started. I was basically the typical C++ engineer who was like, you know, C++ is the best language ever. No language will ever come near C++, and all this safety stuff is just rubbish. I don't believe in it. You know, C++ is still safe and whatnot. But when you start actually writing Rust and you do it for a while and you do it properly, you learn all the features of the language, you start seeing that it's so much quicker to get an application up with Rust than it is with C++. And some of the bugs that you normally write in C++, like runtime bugs, just won't happen because the language will tell you, you know, when you're doing something wrong. And it's a very nice feeling to have, to be honest. And most importantly, the compiler errors with Rust are so much nicer than the C++ ones. I cannot stress this enough. It tells you exactly which line you should change and how you should change it. And that is amazing. That is incredible. But anyway, that's me. I'm going to stop talking about Rust now and do some Rust, I guess. So all the time. The Spring framework annoys the hell out of me and I see it with me anymore. Spring Boot, dude. You chose that life. Is C++ harder than Rust for real? I don't know. I think they're both pretty difficult to learn, like from zero, to be honest. I will say that I think C++ is actually a little bit easier than Rust because C++ is a conventional language, right? So anything that you learn in other languages, like for loops, how the way you do switch case statements, things like conditionals, this is all parts of C++ as well, and it's the way you do things. In Rust, the idiomatic Rust way of doing filtering, for example, or I don't know, you want to iterate over a collection of vectors or something like that, it may not necessarily be through a for loop. So that would be like a Rust only way of doing it through like kind of ranges in C++. It's kind of similar. So I would say it's probably easier than Rust just because of that. It's more conventional than Rust. And also Rust has some pretty sort of like alien ideas compared to C++, like borrow checker for one. You have like lifetimes, which is something you don't really think about in other languages. They do exist in like C++, but it isn't really a thing. And you have traits and not classes. It's a different way of kind of implementing behaviors. So yeah, I think it is a little bit more difficult, but it's still easy to learn, and the compiler will help you out quite a lot. I was a C# dev at some point, and they forced me to switch. Oh no, dude. Right. We've been here for like half an hour, so let me actually start doing this work, right? So we've had a good chat. I'm going to try and focus on this a little bit. I'm going to read you guys' messages, so please let me know if there's any questions. But yeah, I have this belief that C++ is an absolute behemoth of language. Oh, it is, don't get me wrong. Too much going on with way too many features. Yeah, it's a behemoth of a language, but so is any modern language, to be honest. You look at JavaScript, you look at Rust, Golang, not so much. Golang is actually quite simple, but all these languages have like a lot of features, like massive standard libraries, and it's just difficult. It's just difficult because you have a lot of things to learn, right? C++ is just one of those. By the way, if you guys haven't done that yet, I would recommend you clicking on the like button and please helping me out in the channel quite a lot by subscribing if you haven't done it. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, first things first, right? So we're gonna actually go into the Urchin app, which is the main application here, and we are going to add another dependency, which is this. So async runtime, I guess Tokyo database driver. I don't know. So let's figure out. So SQL. Yeah, we're gonna go for this one here because we're gonna be using MariaDB. I'm wondering if we can use the same sort of like migration files as Urchin Go. So SQL Postgres. So what is the async runtime? We can be yeah, we've got Tokyo here because we are using Tokyo as our main async runtime, right? Got a few messages. So I only do Java for DSA stuff. I tried doing web dev in Java and gave up just after one year, one day, who knows. Not okay. One thing I learned recently about Go is that simple isn't easy. Go routines and channels are one thing I still struggle with. Yeah, I agree. So Go routines, like green threads in general, are very difficult to understand. I will tell you something though. So if you understand Go routines in Go, understanding the runtime, the async runtime in Rust is very easy because it's very, very similar. So you have like essentially a glorified thread pool that's like running under the hood and it's picking up tasks. And you've got like channels communicating between these threads and stuff for doing synchronization. Yeah, it's kind of, once you understand that, you can quite easily understand how Rust works under the hood as well. One day. Fair enough. That's a lot shorter than I thought it would be. Anyway, so if we do a cargo build here, so if we do cargo build, I just want to see if we can pull this. There you go. So version failed, select a version for CORM. So release candidate 7. Okay, 1.0.0 release candidate 5. Definitely matches this one, so I don't understand what this is talking about. Let's try the 7th one. There you go. So now you managed to find it because I can see the green thing here. Let's do a cargo build. It still didn't work. Let's just try 1, right? So version 1. Oh no. Yeah, this is something else. So this is where cargo shits on itself, right? This is where cargo shits on itself. Because we have Tokyo, but SeaORM does not have this feature. Features, SQL, Tokyo. I mean, I thought it would do, and macros. Let's try that again though, just with version 1. Cargo build. Yeah, so why doesn't this work? Why doesn't this work? Let's take a look here. You have to choose runtime from one of these. So runtime async, runtime Tokyo native TLS, runtime async, runtime Tokyo Rust TLS. I don't know which one we are using. I think it's native TLS though. That's the default Rust one. Actually, it will be probably better if we match Axum's Rust TLS, right? I don't know what we're using. In fact, we can probably find it here. Which TLS library it's using? TLS? No, we don't know. We don't know. So let's just go for the... There is no TLS library apparently. Okay. And now we should do something like release candidate. Was it 5? Version 5? V5 or something? I can't remember. Well, we can just do this. All right, let's try again. All of that just to find the right version. But yeah, now we found the correct version to build, and it's rebuilding a lot of the dependencies, which is expected. That's fine. But basically after this, we should have CUrchin integrated here. So let's look at the next bit of the tutorial, shall we? So these are the extra features that we can have with Chrono support for chronotypes. We might come back to some of these types before, so let's remember this page. Setting up migration. This is the interesting one. So thank you for reading this documentation. While we have you, would you spare a few minutes into completing our CQL community service? Maybe later. If you are starting from a fresh database, it's better to version control your database schema. CUrchin ships with a migration tool, allowing you to write migrations in CUrchin or SQL. Generating CUrchin entities. I don't know about that one. Migration table. A table will be created into your database to keep track of the applied migrations. So this is saying that in my database, there will be a table created just to keep track of the migrations. Okay, which is kind of the same as what Goose will do in Golang. It will create it automatically, okay, by default. It's called this, that's fine. But we can also change it by implementing a trait, that's fine. We're not going to change that. So we need to install the tool, right? So this is the one. Let's install that tool. I'm going to stop Urchin itself and do a cargo install. This, and this will actually install the migration tool, hopefully. Yeah, so there's two different things here for those who don't understand. So we have to actually install the CLI tool, CORM CLI, to get the migration stuff. And we also have to integrate CORM as a crate into our project. That's what we've just done here. And then we set up the migration directory by executing this init, right? So from, okay, this is still installing stuff, which is fine. This has built all the dependencies. That's good. There was no errors. And then we're going to run this command here to initialize the migration directory. Let me just see what this is doing. So this is creating file lib.rs. Create. So these are all like Rust files from the looks of it. All the migrations are just Rust files, which is interesting, isn't it? Because with Goose, they were just kind of like SQL files. So you don't actually need Rust to run the migrations with Goose, which is, from the looks of it, not what this does. But I don't know. Don't know at all. Has anyone in the chat ever used ORMs before by any chance? Anyone I can like ask questions to? Because I might be quite lost later on. I believe we have actually installed it now. Oh, still going. You should have a migrations directory with a structure like the below. Right, so I think all we do is we copy this. We wait for this to build. I do apologize, it's very hot where I am here in the UK, of course. I'm in that tropical country known as England. 35 degrees Celsius, sweating buckets. But turns out that my machine gets quite warm when it's the summer, which isn't ideal. Right, finally. So now we can do something like this. CRM create. So we have a migration database, a migration thing here. Great. Let's move back. And let's just see what they look like, shall we? So migration seems to be a project of its own, which is interesting. So it creates like a whole ass Rust project just for the migrations. And it creates a table here. Ooh, this is way more convoluted than the Goose migration, right? But that's fine. So what this is actually doing here, let's have a look. So import migration trait for migration. We just have a structure here called migration. Async up and down expected. So up runs when you migrate up. Down basically tears up everything that you've created with this migration, which is fine. So we do manager.create table create. Okay, but like, where's the name of my stuff here? Like, where do I put the names of my table and whatnot? So table, where is that? No definition for table. Table create, table post, table. Where's all this coming from? I guess we'll find out by reading the tutorial, right? So let's actually stick to that. You should have a migration directory. We do, indeed. How I wish I understood Rust. It's not that difficult, dude. I mean, nano okay. Just start right now, man. Just go and install the Rust tools. In fact, I think I'm gonna record a video talking about Rust a little bit. So basically going from C++ to Rust. So assuming that you're a C++ developer or you know C++ and you wish to learn Rust. So I'm going to do a video where I explain the equivalent stuff. So like, CMake and Conan, for example, is equivalent to cargo. And, classes are equivalent to, traits, or not equivalent, but the way you do that kind of, behavior implementation will be for traits. And I think that'll be a nice video. What do you guys think? Maybe I'll do it next week. I've just got an idea here. Let me write it down. Let me write it down before I forget. Create Rust from C++ video. That'll get 1 million views for sure. Nah, I came from JS and trying to get away from it with learning Go. Yeah, also Rust from Go. That would be quite good. Anyway, let's write a migration. Delete detail instructions in the next section. So we have the create post here, and that's the file we were just looking at. Replace the sample below with your own migration scripts to do. So entity create an entity in your root workspace. Wait, what's an entity? What is an entity? You can create an entity create without any entry files. Then write a migration and run it to create tables in a database. Finally, generate CORM entities with SeaORM CLI and output the entity files to whatever this is. I mean, I don't know what an entity is. What is an entity in ORM, guys? Go on. Help me out here. Help a boy out. Help a boy out. So app create. Okay, so basically they've not done the documentation here. Let's see what actually happens. So we've got create table. What does that take? There's no... See, I just don't know what to put in this. Writing migration. There you go. Each migration contains 2 methods, up and down. Yeah. We know this. We know that. CRM migration system has the following advantages. Write DDL statement with cQuery or SQL. It's fine to execute multiple DDL with conditions. Seed data with the CRM API. Don't know what that means. So generate a new migration file with generate. Yeah, okay. CRM migrate command. So I guess you do this from the root directory. I don't know. And we get something like this. So create table. Okay. This is what I'm interested in finding. Like, what does create table actually take, and what should go in there, right? What should go in there? Additionally, you have to include a new migration in the migrations method. Migrations method, right? Where's migrations method? Okay, where is that? Excuse me? Oh, this one here, migrations method. Yeah. Migrator trait, yeah. So we have to include it here, box new, create table migration. And it will be this one here, I guess, right? Yeah, so it just creates a module file for you, and you have to basically include it here in the lib.rs file. It looks okay for now, to be honest. It's not too difficult. We can definitely do that. Note that the migrations should be sorted in chronological order, right? So you should always include them in chronological order or sort them in chronological order. Or do both to be safe, right? So defining a migration. See schema manager for API reference. Yeah, we're definitely going to open that. Using cquery. Click here to take a tour of cquery's DDL statements. What does DDL stand for? So can AI help us in this case? Let's see how good AI will define this for us. Wait, do I not have AI in this case? Okay, so the whatever Microsoft's AI is not working. Maybe it's because I'm not signed in. Data definition query. Data definition language. Thank you very much, man. But why is Bing AI not working on incognito? Yeah, it doesn't work. See, it only works if you've signed in, which is cool. If you just paste DDL, what happens here? Data definition language. In the context of databases, DDL refers to the set of SQL commands used to define and manage database structures, such as, yeah, exactly what you said, my nerd, my dude. Thank you very much. So you can use the derive IDEN macro to define identifiers that will be used in your migration. So table, this is a special case. It will be mapped to post. What? To post? Okay. ID, title. Renaming the identifier to full text. Okay. So basically I can create an enum post, right? So there is a table somewhere, a table definition, is that correct? So table create. Like, where is the definition of this? Oh, it's here. Yeah. Ah, okay, I see. So this thing here is used in here. So there's some code generation going on with this. So post table. Okay. Hello, Muslight. How's it going, man? It's good to see you, dude. Good to see you. By the way, if you guys haven't yet done it, please, I beg you to like the video. That's all I beg you. Yeah, so we basically have to add a new, whenever we want a new kind of table, we create that post thing, the post enum. So like this is the enum for a post table, right? A post table that has ID, title, and text. This is, surprisingly, this is what we actually want, by the way. We want something exactly like this. So we want an ID, we want a title, and we definitely want the content, right? So we're going to change that bit at least. And I think we want the excerpt as well. So let me just make sure by checking the urchin migrations, because these are all in the migrations for sure. So we add the post excerpt here. So we have an excerpt that is a text, not null. And we also have, so we have ID, content, title, and excerpt. ID, content, title, and excerpt. So this is what we have. ID, we have content instead of text. Title, and then we also have excerpt. Something like that, right? And I'm pretty sure this is not going to compile. So we create a table called, I see. So this maps to basically the title of this table. If it doesn't exist, so we create a column called ID. We create a title. We create a content in this case, And then we are also going to do the excerpt, right? Title excerpt content. Yeah, it doesn't matter which. Content and excerpt, yeah. Something like that, right? And is this it? I think this is it. Can I run the migration now? It's been great. How are you? I've realized that you've been productive for YouTube lately. It's great. Yeah, dude. I'm trying to be. So, I'm gonna kind of open my heart to you guys a little bit. So I struggle a lot with motivation. There are kind of like months where I don't really want to do anything apart from just like finishing my work and sitting down watching TV and playing games or something. And there are months where I'm on it, right? There are months like this one where I'm like reading every day. I'm kind of creating content. I'm writing like scripts for videos. I'm doing kind of a lot of lives as well on YouTube. But yeah, I mean, I've been active and I've been trying very, very hard to stay active. So to stay active and stay motivated all the time. But it's really, really difficult. And especially, you know, for you guys that work with computers all day, you're in front of a computer all day, it's very difficult to, you know, do your work for 8 hours and then come back to the computer at the end of the day and do more stuff on the computer that's productive, right? It's something that it's extremely difficult. But I just want you guys to know that you're not alone. It happens to everyone. It happens to me. And yeah, I mean, I'm also in the same boat. I try to be as productive as I am, but sometimes, you know, you just don't have the motivation, and that's fine. You just gotta, you know, make sure that you get out of it at some point. Do you know how to make Fiber work with Temple? I've not used Fiber and Temple yet, dude. I've heard of Fiber. It's a good framework, but I've not had a chance to work on it, dude. I can't help you. Most like we always get lost, mate. I definitely understand what you mean, and I feel like, yeah, it's just what happens, right? I mean, maybe the weather, like we're in the summer here in the UK, and the weather has been like really, really good. And I remember telling my partner, like, it's, you know, when it's sunny, I definitely feel like I want to do more stuff. But yeah, maybe I'm on that kind of like motivation high just because of the weather. But yeah, I'm hoping that it's not going to drop off. Okay, so yeah, we've learned that you can create enums and stuff for like a particular post. So we assert equal that table.toString is that. So yeah, let's add these asserts here because I want to make sure that they assert the right names, right? So we can do an assertion anywhere from the looks of it. I'm sure that there's probably like surd. So surd is another like very interesting library in Rust. You can just as well change like the naming of these things. So instead of being, you know, ID lowercase, you can force it to be like uppercase or something. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to make sure that these things do actually map to the right names. Content, and we've got content that should be here, and we're going to copy that and then do the excerpt. So we're going to do a delete. Oh, why did I not delete? Oh, why did I not delete? Excerpt. There you go. Excerpt. Like that, right? And here are some common DDL snippets you may find useful. So to create a table, we've got that there. Renaming the identifier. Category. So we've got pub enum category. What does that do? I don't want to interrupt you so much, but what is CMS exactly? I mean, I've started seeing a lot of it since I started web dev. So CMS stands for Content Management System. And, you know, long story short, dude, it's just like a little application that lets you create posts, pages, and whatever, and it will display in a web page. So that's what CMS is. So, you know, if you've heard of WordPress, perhaps the most known CMS in the world. So it's like a CMS for blogging and just pages in general. You can create anything with it. That's what CMS is. It's just a program that's kind of, you know, interacting with some sort of database and keeping track of all your posts and displaying things correctly and whatnot. That's what a CMS is. It manages your content for you. It's in the name. And yeah, don't worry about interrupting me because I'm here for that reason, man. I'm here to talk to you guys while I'm coding. I don't mind being less productive just if it means I can actually talk to you. It's actually much better that way than just coding, for like 2 hours and not really interacting with anyone. I've looked into it, but did not understand it. Thanks. I mean, if you want to understand in a very simple kind of way of how CMSs work, most like I have just the right the right suggestion for you, right? So we have I'm gonna accept it. We have a playlist here on the channel. You can look at it later, dude. Don't have to do it now. But if you go on the videos or playlists, in fact, there should be a Golang plus CMS HTMX Golang CMS playlist here that we've created. I just have to think about that for a second. It's just too many buzzwords. But we implement it from scratch, like how a CMS might work, and it's a very simple one. It's nowhere near the same as what WordPress does, but you can understand how it works, and it's a good watch. I'd say it's fairly long, but it will teach you something at the very least. Man, some people. It's interesting that some people will create all these playlists, like very long playlists, making something, and they will just sell it as a course, and maybe I'm missing that. I'm missing it out. I guess I could be earning millions on YouTube by just doing that, but instead I do it for free. Who knows? I hate myself, don't I? Defining the schema with helpers. Okay, create index. So ID, I don't yet know a way to kind of set it to auto increment the ID. Create data type Postgres only, create foreign key, create index. I think that's the index bit, right? So create index, manager create index, cquery index.create. All right. So manager, where's this manager thing coming from? So up, right? So I guess we'll go here as well. So manager. Is it going to be in here somewhere? So create table. What if we do column new post ID integer not no auto increment? Oh, this is what I'm looking for. So column def dot column pk auto primary key auto. I guess that does a bunch of stuff that we want here, right? I don't know what pk auto does, but auto increment primary key must be that, right? I'm going to trust that it is. Okay, no, that's good. So how do I actually run this now, though? I want to actually run this integration. So running a migration, there you go. There you go. So migrations can be run manually in the terminal. Database URL must be set in your environment. Follow the instructions here to configure it. Yep, let's configure it. Database URL, so we have the protocol, and we also have the username and password at localhost database, right? We're going to copy and paste this from Goose because it's going to be the same stuff. Yeah, I agree on paid course. In India, if anyone gets into Fang, they are sure to start a YouTube channel and sell their courses. Yeah, I think it's just, I don't know. I don't want to say anything bad because obviously these people sometimes make good courses, but at the same time, I feel like it's just profiteering on the poor viewers that that help them get to where they are. So I don't know. I mean, it's understandable when you do a well thought course and you have like people working for you to edit the videos, and you've got like an actual writing of all your content, and you plan things meticulously, and you do things very well, and you release it on something like Udemy or something. But when a YouTuber is solely getting most of their money just through courses that don't really teach you anything most of the time, yeah, I mean, that's when I have an issue with it, to be honest. Because that's just basically a scam, right? But anyway, I'm saying this now, but maybe one day I'll do a course. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, so we got to do this. And we got to generate entity. So cargo run manifest, urchin CLI will execute cargo run manifest, cargo toml, and the hood. Migrate command. So migrate up, right? That's what we probably want here. Okay, yeah. Let's see if we can do this. So first of all, I want for sure to see what I did in Goose. Driver MySQL. It will be something like this, right? Now, problem is, my database already has like a post table in it. But that's fine, right? So we can do a sudo systemctl start Maria. And then we can do a sudo MySQL root. Now, how do I delete everything? So drop, so use urchin? Or is it go CMS? Yeah, there you go. So is it the scribe? No, it's not the scribe. I just want to see what all of the tables that are available. SQL, MySQL, show all tables. Oh, show tables. So we have cards, Goose. So we're basically going to be adding another post one. Well, that's fine. What we can do is I can create another database, I guess. Yeah, I can create another database. I always like seeing courses from someone who codes. Nowadays, people just create courses because they think that they know stuff. I finished many courses, and some of them are truly garbage. Yeah, I can imagine, most like. I mean, some of the YouTubers that I've seen doing it, they can barely like work on a project for a week and finish it, let alone create a whole project. But yeah, I mean, I would never ever release a course where I'm not actually like qualified to talk about something. And I'll never release a course where I don't feel like I know enough to be teaching it as well, because, you know, people will buy your course, they will ask for your help. And if you can't help them in the end because you just don't know enough, then, you know, they've essentially lost their money, because part of the purchase is being able to kind of get like that live help, shall we say, or whatnot. But yeah. So that's the what is it called? That is the database URL thing, right? So database URL, this is what we need to do. So database URL, protocol, username, password. I think it's just root and root in this case. Localhost and database, right? So set database URL in the environment file, or create a file in a project root. Specify your database connection. I'm just going to do it here. So database database URL is going to be equals to protocol. I know what the protocol is, TCP. And the username and password is root at urchin localhost at urchin database, right? Urchin2. So urchin-rs. Let's create another one. So we've set that up, and now we should be able to do CORM CLI up, or maybe not. CORM CLI generate. No, generate is not what we want. We want migrate up. That's the one. Right, so something did happen. So current package believes it's in a workspace when it's not. Current, we have urchin-rs migrations, okay. Workspace, cargo toml. This may be fixable by adding migration to the workspace members. Yeah, it may be. So see, this is what I mean about Rust. Someone was asking me before why the Rust is nice. And this is why Rust is nice, because there is an error here. And it's not really a language error in this case. It's a build system error. And it tells you exactly what the problem is, and it tells you exactly how to fix it. So for example, migration, cargo.toml is not part of the workspace that's defined in cargo.toml. So the workspace in Rust is basically a collection of a lot of projects, and you can basically say, you know, all these projects are part of my workspace. And it turns out that migration is not one of them, but we can fix it by simply adding, let me just do it here. So we can simply add this here, so migration. And that is it. So we can do the same thing now, hopefully. So urchin app. Oh yeah, there you go. And that fixed that problem. Now I want to see if this is actually going to run fine. So So this is compiling a bunch of stuff, which is interesting. I just want to see if my migration is going to work finally. Anyway, while it's building, yeah. So what were we talking about? Courses, yeah. I mean, yeah, courses can be a hit and miss, right? So there are legit like trash courses out there that are just trying to scam people and get people's money. But there are some good ones as well. Like I'm going to be honest with you guys, I've never done any courses just because I've been fortunate enough to be able to learn anything that I want to learn online for free without having to pay someone to do it. And I think, you know, that should be your first kind of instinct as well. So if you guys can do that, if you know what you want to learn and you can do it online, you know, do your own research and not rely on someone else's like screen share to learn it, you'll be better off. You'll learn more for sure. But, you know, yeah, there are courses where you actually do need to have a video lesson or something like talking about, you know, the AWS courses, for example. Yeah, you kind of need to pay someone to just know what they're going to ask in the exams, and you can learn those as well. So, in fact, that's the only course I've done, just the cloud practitioner for AWS. But yeah. Anyway, so caused by the macro expansion here. No, usage of assert equal EQ is likely invalid in an item context. Yeah, is that because the assertion is not in a function? So what? Async function up. What does that do? 1. Unreachable code by default. Yeah, no, we have done that. So just remove the to do. So the to do will actually return from the function. Now I think these should really be in somewhere in migration up or something, right? 1, 2. Ooh. Right. Now let's go back to this, clear this a little bit, run it again. Let's see if it will work. There you go. So the main panicked. Database URL is not set. Yeah, it's quite not, is it? It's not because we've messed it up. Database URL. What is the issue now though? Failed to acquire database connection. The connection string has no supporting driver. Is it because the protocol should really be MySQL? No supporting driver. So we have no supporting driver for MySQL. Let's take a look at how this is doing it. So we're missing something in the string for sure, because obviously we do have MySQL. Or do we? Oh, interesting. So SeaORM database string MySQL. So connection string MySQL. So Postgres, can't think of any. Wait, what? Here are some tips for specific connections. Protocol can be MySQL. Yeah, that's what we had though. We've got protocol, username, database. MariaDB, MySQL. Now MariaDB is definitely not going to work either, is it? The connection string MySQL has no supporting driver. So we are missing something for MySQL here. It's like we have to install a driver for the ORM library. And I'm struggling to figure out here what we actually need to do now. My guess is like we just, yeah. That SQLite. We just missed like a feature or something for sure. Root localhost urchin. Let's just do a quick Google here. See maybe if we can find it. CORM MySQL. you need to enable the database feature and runtime. So what do we need to do here? Database driver. We did have a MySQL, didn't we? Let me just make sure that we do. Just gonna change it. So basically in the cargo toml, yeah, SQLX MySQL. I don't understand what's going on. Is it because we've forgotten to put it on the migration install as well? Import the migration crate and std crate. Yeah, interesting. CORM CLI MySQL. You need to structure the cargo workspace by following the steps. Right, what have we missed here? Workspace structure. It is recommended to structure a cargo workspace as follows to share CRM entities between the app. Okay. So we're missing the same dependencies from the looks of it. Migration cargo toml features, oh yeah, we basically just haven't, I guess, done this, right? From the looks of it, we just have kind of messed up the dependencies on the migrations. That's fine. Dependencies.c. Okay, so this is what we're missing from the looks of it. Okay, now if we do it again, so CORM CLI, can I rebuild this? So the package migration depends on CORM migration, which features macros, but CORM ORM migration does not have these features. Yeah, so maybe we don't have macros in here, that's fine. Okay, that's better. So maybe this will work, we'll see. So yeah, my guess is that from looking at the answer on Stack Overflow, we were just missing the MySQL driver here in the migrations. And we did have it before, but it was in a different project, so it didn't pick up. Okay, unknown database, urchin-rs. That's good because it actually did connect, right? So the thing is, I just have to kind of create a database now. So create database urchin-rs. You have an error in your SQL syntax. How do I create a database again? You can tell that I don't work with SQL at all. Create database, MySQL. Create database statement. That's what I thought it was. Create database statement, create database name, which is what I did. Create database urchin-rs. Ah, okay, so we can't have a hyphen there, but if we do urchin-rs, then it works, right? What if we did urchin-rs? Okay, that also works. Okay, so that's a little bit better. That's a little bit better. Now let's quit this real quick. Let's see if we can do this again, but urchin_rs. Okay, and now the table has been created. I just want to take a look real quick. So I'm going to use urchin-rs here. So we used the database. You can turn off the feature. Okay, so I guess show tables in here, and we have post. So select. So or describe. Is it describe post? Describe like that. Okay, yeah, let's see what happens. So I just want to see the generated SQL. Basically, I want to see if it created the whole the interesting or the right stuff. So I did create a column called ID, which is an integer of size 11. It can't be null, and it's a primary key, and also increment. That's good, yeah. And then the rest of the stuff, which is just varchar 255, 255. Now, this is not quite what I wanted. I just wanted this to be text. So maybe we can change the maybe we can change the types here somehow. So let's try and do that, right? Because I want it to match my urchin database, which kind of looks like this. So if I do use urchin, or go CMS in fact, this is what this looks like. So we've got int here, which is fine. This is basically the same. What we don't have is the content title and excerpt being just text, right? So that's what we want to change in the migration somehow. And let's see if we can do that, shall we? So we are definitely going to go over to the, I guess, the migrations, the writing and migration stuff again. And there will be the DDL, right? The DDL is what we want in this case. So we want to look at the DDL somewhere. DDL. Yeah, click here to take a quick tour at the DDL language. Okay. And this is freaking huge. Jesus Christ. So column, new, ID, integer, not null, auto increment. We can do it the long way. So integer, not null. So we want string, new, character, character. Not null. We have a foreign key here. So let's see if the types can change slightly. Table create, yeah. Let's see if we can slightly change these types. So going back to here. So are you guys still following? Like, is this too boring? Let me know. If it's too boring, we can talk about something else. Right now, I'm just kind of enjoying learning about the migrations in Rust. I'm honest with you. So we have string. String no, string unique text. That's the one. So the reason why I'm putting text here is because it, as far as I know, in MySQL or MariaDB, text is a little bit more kind of arbitrary in size than varchar is, because varchar 255 means that you can have a variable length character up to 255 characters, right, or something, which is not what we want. We, you know, some of these supposed to have like thousands of words in there, so it has to be able to hold an arbitrarily long size string, which is this what we want basically. So I think that's it. Thing is, we now need to go back in here, urchin-rs, and we need to drop table. So drop table, what is it called? Post? Yeah, is that right? So we have no tables, select tables, or show tables, right? Yeah, okay, so we have none of that again. I'm going to change this to posts a little bit because I want it to match whatever the, let's change that. So posts. So we changed it everywhere, that's good. And now we can go back in here. Oh, we can go back into my stuff here and then run it again. And now it should match exactly this here. So this is what I expect here. So if I go and do sudo MySQL, use urchin-rs, and I show tables, I should have posts. Nope, I do not have posts, which is kind of sad. Applying all pending migrations. Oh, okay, yeah, this is because I did it the wrong way. I'm not supposed to drop. I'm not supposed to drop the migration. I'm simply supposed to kind of. Yeah, let me change this a little bit because it will affect things post. I'm supposed to run down the migration. So yeah, my bad. So let's go back, migrate down. So that, you know, you see the down command here just drops the table, which is fine. Error, return from the database, unknown database, this.post. Yeah, so what do we do now? Because, I'm just going to create a new database, actually. I'm going to destroy this database and create a new one. Right, for that, I need the power of Google again. So Maria db remove database. Drop database. Okay. Same as drop table. So I will do sudo mysql drop database urchin-rs and drop urchin-rs as well. We are good. Just drop the SQL database. Yeah, hello Karan Farid. That's what we're doing now, dude. I'm glad that we got on the same page. And yeah, so now let's run that again, shall we? So migrate up. And we do have the new naming convention, which is posts. We do have the text here, the types. Okay, save it, and then boom, let's go. Right, so we panicked. Unknown database urchin-rs. Yeah, this is fine. This is because we actually forgot to create a new one. We dropped the last one, but we forgot to create a new one, which is fine. So create database urchin-rs. We can exit this, and then we run that again. And one of the assertions failed. That's correct. That's because this is now named posts. But if we run it again, it should be good. Okay, so migration was applied. And from what I can understand, this whole thing here, it just compiles down to a program somewhere, an executable, I'm going to guess, that just connects to the database and runs all of the migration up. So if my theory is correct, if we go into target, debug, there will be a migration, there you go, migration executable here, which actually just runs all of this code. So this is actually like Rust code that is executed into a migration, into a program that just connects to the database and makes some changes to it, which is cool. I like it. That's what migration is in Rust. I'm pretty sure Urchin is, or Goose is the same thing. Oh no, Goose is a little bit different because, yeah, it doesn't get compiled down to an executable for sure. But anyway, now if I do use, in fact, sudo mysql, and then I use urchin-rs, I should be able to show tables. I should be able to kind of select or describe posts, right? And this is the same, exactly the same as what we had before with Urchin. And that's a little bit more correct now. I'm fairly confident that this is basically the same. And the code porting for the database migration at least is done. So that's good. That's good. That means we can actually connect to this database from the main application and try to kind of add some endpoints to actually, add posts, right? So that's what we're going to be doing now, I guess. We've got half an hour. Can we do that? I think so. I think we can do something very easy in half an hour. So we've got this database set up for us. Now, just going to summarize again. We want to create an endpoint that's going to allow us to add a post, right? Now, this is going to be in the admin app for sure. We have Axum here. We do want to add the dependency on SeaORM again, CORM. Just because we're going to be using that, I'm going to just simply sort this alphabetically, just because my OCD will not let me otherwise. Sort you. I'm going to add anyhow as well, because we're going to definitely be doing some stuff. Anything else I'm missing there? So common, yeah, we're going to have common. And common is where all the database code is going to go to, basically. Right, so, okay. I'm basically going to copy all the Urchin stuff, right? We have a bunch of Urchin shit in here. Sorry, a bunch of Axum stuff in here. So you should try GORM. GORM Go is 70 times more easy to use than these ORMs. I've heard about that actually, random nerd. And I wish, I'll tell you what, right? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that in Urchin. I'm gonna change it from a simple SQL library, and we're going to put an ORM into this because it's going to be, you know, from the looks of it, it makes things 100 times better here. By the way, if you guys haven't done this, so Urchin's code base is on the description, and you can click on a star here. That would help me out quite a lot to get 50 stars. I'd love you if you did that. And also like the video, please. But we're going to simply just do a new issue here so I don't forget about it. So migrate all the SQL code to ORM via ORM. And yeah, let's leave it here. I know what to do here. So yeah, I mean, if any of you guys want to help me with that, feel free to go on the GitHub and contribute to the project, because I'm happy to review your code. I'll be very happy to work with some of you, actually. But yeah, oh, 50 stars. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can we get a heart emoji on the chat? That's amazing. Whoever did that is a hero, but thank you. Right, going back to Rust. We have a hello handler here, but I'm going to change this to a post request. And instead of hello handler, we're going to have add post handler in here, right? We're going to change it to /post. And we probably want to do a post in here. Add post handler. That means we're going to change some of this. Thank you for the heart emojis, guys. I appreciate that. And add post handler. I'm trying to do this in 30 minutes. I think we can do it. So let's just bash it out. This is where I type really quick now. So first thing we need to do is to actually add a JSON in here. So we want to take in some data, right? So we basically want to do a extractor, I think it's called extractor, or data extractor or something. But what we're going to do is we're going to have to create a struct called, I guess, add post request. Request in here, something like that. And we're probably going to go for third in a second. I will figure that out in a second. But in here, we're definitely going to have something like, you know, the post title, which is going to be a string. We're going to have also the content, which is a string. And this is the user, the data that the user will kind of pass to the endpoint, right? That's the idea here. That's what we're going to do. And content, we have excerpt as well, which is also a string. Content of the excerpt. I think that's it. I think that's everything, really. This is not C++. We just have that. We want to put the struct. And right. Now we have to Google real quick, because I can't remember how to do it. How to get the JSON extractor in Axum. So extractors in Axum is basically the way you do like data extraction, right? So if you pass in some data to the endpoint, you will probably want an extractor. So create user, for example, email, password. So create user, we have extract JSON payload, extract JSON create user. So you can see it here. JSON payload is going to be a JSON of create user, right? And we do need srd, so srd, which means that we need to include srd creates Rust. We need to include srd. For those who don't know, I'm going to try and quickly explain what srd is. Srd is a serialization and deserialization, as you can probably tell by the name. And it's very nice to kind of use it. Basically, what you have to do is like create a structure and basically mark with a few macros. So like serialize will make sure that this structure can be serialized with srd, and deserialize will do the other way around, of course. It's really, really nice to use. If you've used like anything in C++ and you thought, God, this is really difficult to make this structure serialize, srd is much simpler than that. So yeah, I guarantee you. So we will need srd JSON or something, I guess. content type JSON. Since parsing JSON requires consuming request body, the JSON extractor must be last if there are multiple extractors. So this is very important. In fact, I've wasted hours at work, hours, because they didn't have this before. This is a new addition here. But yeah. Anyway, so let's add surd, or surd, I don't know how to call it, to be honest. Surd, like that. And we will now, again, let's just do a sort U here for the sake of it. We have Axum. In here, we can do something like derive. Is it derive? Is derive? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's derive. Derive, serialize from surd. You can see here, pulled it automatically. And also deserialize. I think it's just the deserialize that we need, right? In this case, yeah, just deserialize, which is quite nice. Let's remove that one. Now, this has to be public, otherwise it doesn't deserialize. Okay. Or does it have to be public? I don't really know. No, maybe not. Maybe we can just not have it public. It's not like Golang. Golang, you actively have to make sure that your fields are public. Otherwise, you won't be able to like marshal and unmarshal it, because the external library has to access the fields, and there's a bunch of like shit regarding that. But I don't think that's the case with Rust, because we're only accessing it here. So they will have access to it. I don't know. We'll try that now. I would rather not have to make everything public, to be honest. But so we have the extension to the database. Fine. What we have to do now is make sure that we have a JSON extractor here. Oh, JSON extractor. What is it called? Extract JSON. And then we have the add or the post request, which is an extract JSON of, and now this is where add post request. Okay, so now we should have access to this post request, and basically this means that you know, we can do something like, you know, post request dot content excerpt. We have all these values here, so we can just print it out, right? Which is probably what we're going to do for now. We're just going to return it as the output string. So should we do that? Yeah, why not? So output. So we're going to make sure that this whole thing does actually work. Post string, and then we have format. We have the post title. And then we're going to have the same thing. So post content. It's going to be the content. And then we're going to have the same thing here. So it's going to be post excerpt. Now there's not been any messages since GoRM. So is my chat delayed, or is my chat just frozen, or are you guys just bored as hell now? That's the question. But I got to make things a little bit more interesting. So database lock read, okay. Okay, so now can I build this? Can I do a cargo build? Will thing just build? Now what's interesting is like while this is building, just want to go through the same. We have some Postman settings here for Urchin admin. So I've got some add post stuff here that should work in the same way. So the idea is to basically make this work in the same way. So you can see here my body, I have a bunch of like things that I want to send. So the ultimate test is to make sure that this endpoint will go through when I run send, and it will add something to the database, right? That's what we want to do. So yeah, let's see if that works. Let's see if that works. So first of all, can I run? Can I do a Rust run or debug? Meanwhile, me not trying to disturb you. No, it's alright, dude. You can disturb me. I'm here for that. So debug. What can we debug though? Why is Rust Analyzer not actually debugging? There you go. So I want to do urchin app. Nope. Please tell me I didn't just add everything. Oh yes, I did. I added everything on the urchin app, and it should have been on the admin app. Oh well. Let's do that anyway. So analyzer. This whole thing should have been on the admin app. But that's okay. Okay, so we have launched, and this is on port 3000, right? If I went in here, this is post. The only thing I have to change here is just the port, which should be 3000, and send this, and I should get a nice message back at the very least. Or no, or maybe not. So what happened on my terminal? Did something happen here? I can't tell. Oh no, this is just the output for the LSP. I don't really care about that. The debug console though. So it says 404 not found. Why? Why is it not found? Gotta sleep. Have a good one. Thank you, Karen here. Thank you for joining, dude. Just drop a like before you go. I would appreciate that very much. But yeah, have a good night, dude. Thank you for joining. And right, so we bound port 3000 here. So why is it not serving? Why is it not serving? Oh. Thing is, like, I don't understand why it's not logging anything either. I thought that it should log by default, but we will see. And it's definitely running this version of the app, right? So we did build this for sure. Post. Oh, right, it's because it's called post. That's why. So if I do post here, then we get something back, which is nice. Okay. What is that? High quality and fast image resize in browser. Developer friendly. Ah, okay, yeah, this is my post actually. This is the post content, yeah. I was wondering, where is this coming from? Then I realized I'm just printing out the post content. So at the very least, you know, my endpoint does recognize the data. Now, what we should do with this instead is actually send to the database, right? So this is where the ORM will come in nicely, because I'm hoping that I can do this in the 20 minutes that we have left here on the stream. So let's see that. Let's do that. So database connection. So let db database connection with the string, and we also have a wait here. Okay, we know about this. We're fine with that. So connection options. To configure the connection, use the connection options interface. Yeah, we're going to go for this one here because we want to set maximum connections of 100 maybe. Yeah. And the minimum connections 5. So the pool is going to be minimum 5, maximum 100. The connection timeout is going to be 8 seconds. I'm fine with this, to be honest. So let's try that. So in my main application, I'm going to stop that. So in here, right, in my try main, I'm going to make this whole thing a lot nicer later on, guys. It's not something that it's going to be here forever, like everything in main, but yeah. So this should really be my SQL. And we have root. This is obviously all going to be, you know, make this configurable somewhere. from a file. And then we have localhost. And then the database is called urchin-rs in here. Let's take in the duration from std. That should be okay. The log level. Okay, so we don't have a logging library. Log filter. Right, so we need to, I guess, put the logging library up here. Yeah, so we just want log. Okay, we've got log. This should work now. Yeah, we'll talk about logging in Rust in another video. I'm not going to go through it in this video. I just want to get this stuff working. And why is that gone? Okay. Yeah, so we have the options now. So where do we go from here? Database connection. So we want to actually connect, right? So we want to do this now, which is fine. And what type is connect? Database.connect. Ah, I've abstracted one thing too many. So this should really be, I guess, CORM database connect. Okay. So the database in this case here is not being used, and that's fine. Yeah, see, this is where we would translate this database into this. So basically, maybe I can hide all of this good stuff here into the database, our database structure, right? So we have all of this is going to be here. I'm just abstracting all the database stuff into my own structure, basically. Now, we obviously don't have the ORM here, but we need to have that. So let's go into here, get the CORM, copy it into common. And I think we probably need log as well. This one. And sort that. And that is it. I think we've got all of the stuff that we need. Now, what is connection options taken? Okay. Yeah, what is this a string? What is it? URL, which is a T, and what is T? Something that goes into a string, right? Which string is part of. So I guess we can build the connection string real quick. So let's do that. So let con string, it's going to be format, and this is what we do. So MySQL for sure. Root, and the root in this case, this is all going to be like whatever you pass into it. Obviously, I understand that not everyone's user is going to be root, and their password is also going to be different. But yeah, this is going to be the IP, I believe. So IP like that, and urchin-rs. So basically, this has to take a few more things, right? So this has to take the database name, protocol, user, password, etc. Right? That's what we're missing here. And we are also going to put the underscore DB here. So my database. So have you tried subbase for DB? No, I don't really know what that is. What is a subbase? Sorry, random nerd. This is going to be the same as a SeaORM. The underlying database connection. Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, I can definitely do something like a DB here, await, and we get that. And now we also have the DB, right? So the DB here. Now, this is obviously not a async function, but now it is. It has a lot of services, but I use it for DB storage. It also has its own ORM, Superbase. Let me take a look at that. I'm interested now. So Superbase, I guess it's like a software as a service kind of thing. Build in a weekend, scale to millions. It's a Firebase alternative, right? I see. Start your projects with Postgres database, authentication, instant APIs, edge functions, real-time subscriptions, storage, and vector embeddings. A lot of keywords there. I like the website. I'm going to be honest. Build modern and mobile applications. Multiplayer games. That's really good. That's really cool. I mean, their examples sound really, really cool. But can I make it? That's the problem. My phone is just broken and I can't turn it off. There you go. Anyway, let's go back to this. We got 10 minutes left. We can do it. We can do it. Yeah, I'm not sure what I think about it, random nerd. It's if it's cheap, dude, by all means use it. It's just that, you know, it seems like a database. Seems like something like just Firebase, which is cool. I like it. I'm starting to sweat here because it's too damn hot. All right, so connection string is going to be used in here. That's what I want. Okay, and that should be fine. And this should now be I mean, I'm not using the port yet, you see. Oh well. So we do new .async, .await, sorry. And that should be okay, yeah. That's good now. And I still have my database connection in here, which is good, right? So yeah, it has a free tier. Let's complete this first. Yeah, we will. I can surely have a look on Streamer, man. So what I need to do now is essentially have a function where, you know, if I've got all the information here, I can do something like database dot insert post, right? Or something like that, or add post. And I can pass in everything that it takes. So for example, the post request dot title, post request dot content and the post request dot excerpt in here, right? This is what I want to do, but that requires me to actually go into my database stuff here and create that function. So it will be exactly what we just said. So it's going to be a pub, probably an async function, to be honest, called add post, and then we're going to take in the title, right, which is going to be a string or something like this, and we have the content, or the excerpt, in fact, which is something like this, str, and the content itself, which again is going to be something like this as well. So these things are not being used, but this is where we're actually gonna, insert everything into DB with ORM. That's what we're gonna do right now. So let's try that. Right, writing up a migration is not what we want to do. We definitely want to insert things into a DB now. Using entity, I don't know what entity structure is in this case. Basic CRUD. Before diving into CMS, we have to introduce active value. So active value and active model. Model on that. Okay. I just want to insert things, dude. I just want to insert convert active model back. Wait, what? Maybe we have to read this, unfortunately. Before diving into CRM, we have to introduce this active value, a wrapper struct to capture the changes made to active model attributes. So CORM active value set, not set, unchanged. Okay, I don't see where this is going. So let whatever active value I32 equals set 10. Or not set value, unchanged value. An active model has all attributes of a model wrapped in an active value. You can use active model to insert a row with a subset column set. This is getting confused. It's getting confusing. We'll let option cake model find by 1. Wait, what? Let cheese be a cake find by 1. Where is this coming from? Where's cake? What? I'm so confused. Is cake a thing in here? No, it's not. I'm so confused. I just want to insert something. Right, simple queries. I just want to insert something. So do I have to create a model of my table from the looks of it? That has to inherit derive entity model from the looks of it. Let's try that. Maybe if I understand it correctly, this is what we do. So let's try that. So I basically need something like a pub struct posts, which is going to have everything that I need there. So pub ID which, let's for the sake of it, say is I32, but it also needs to have CORM primary key in here, Surday. Yeah, skip this serialization. The serializing. That's the one. Okay, so in common, I don't actually have SeaORM, do I? Oh yeah, I do, and it has macros. That is interesting. But I need to basically say all of this. Why is this not working? Wait, what? Yeah, I'm a bit confused now as to where this derived entity model macro comes from. Because surely it should be somewhere inside. Yeah, there you go. It's already found it. Derive entity model, proc macro, derive. It's a proc macro. And does not have serde. Yeah, this one doesn't have serde, which is fine. We can bring that in as well. So serde. Now serialize and deserialize should certainly be found, at least. It's indexing things now. Just gotta wait for the Rust LSP. Yeah, so from what I understand here in this ORM thing, we have to create a model in the form of a structure here for the database. And we derive a macro that magically will kind of create all of the gets and setters for our little table, right? Now this is what is kind of annoying me. So this is, set the attributes in active model. Ooh, through active model. Yeah, I'm confused. What is this even doing? So skip this serialization. Huh. Where is this from? Because clearly we are missing that. So I guess we're just gonna have to go into the documentation and find it. Where is this? So derive entity model, which is derive macro. This macro is the almighty macro, which automatically generates entity, column, and primary key from a given model. Yeah, but where is it? CMS. Do we not have that? CMS. And use them import. Yeah, so there's definitely something wrong here. What is the issue? Struct name must be model. Struct name must be model. Hold on a second. Does that work? Cannot find derived macro enum iter. Consider importing this. Use okay, we found that one now. So what else is missing here? Cannot find derived primary key. Derived primary key. What else? Give it to me. Cannot find type relation. Wait, which is what? Cannot find type relation. Cannot find trait. Primary key trait. Okay. Found one. Cannot find type relation in this scope. The trait active bound active model is not satisfied. Should I be doing all of this, I guess. No, these are unused. That's fine. Kind of find type relation in this scope. The trait bound active model behavior is not satisfied. The trait active model behavior is not implemented for active model. The trait active model behavior is not implemented for active model. Okay, I'm so confused. So we do have to have an active model. Set active model from JSON value. Huh. This example is so confusing. Still not getting it. So we have this struct called model. But where do we go from here? Because this is still not work. Can't find type relation. What the hell? Let's just see if there's like there must be an easier way to do this for sure. There must be a different tutorial that's going to teach me how to do this. This is the Rust docs. So maybe we do need to know the entity structure thing. So public model, derived entity model. Okay, so we also need a relation. A relation has many through entity. So basically, it looks to me as if we will create a Rust mod for each of these entities. In every kind of Rust mod, we're going to have all of these things in here. So for example, I am going to create another file here called post, right? Something like that. So posts.rs. And in here, I'm going to basically everything that we actually want to model from the posts. And I'm actually going to call it here, or mod posts. In this case, there you go. So I can start doing all of this again. Yeah, okay. That sounds like a better idea. Now, we have to define the relation and the related, I guess. I don't know what to put in these things yet, but we will see, I guess. So super has many entities. See, I don't know what's going to go in here. Related to entity. Like, do we have this? It's not related to anything in this case. Now, what do we have missing here? Derive primary key. Primary key trait. The relation table means the relationship between tables? I guess so, yeah. So if you have like a foreign key for something, you'd have to say, you know. But we don't really have any relations here. So I guess we don't have any relations in this case. Like we just have that, basically. in this case, it makes more sense because the posts aren't really related to anything at this particular stage. But yeah, I think you're right. So it'll be like, whether you define one-to-many, many-to-one, or many-to-many relationships. I haven't realized, I haven't figured that bit yet. But in add post, can we do something like posts dot? No, how do we add things into it? This would be the interesting thing, right? So how do I add basic CRUD insert? So let me through active model ID set, not set. Okay, so I kind of have to do something like this. So let post equals to posts active model. So the ID will be, wait, we don't have an ID in this case, right? Yeah, we have no ID. Not set, I guess, which would be automatically active value. What else do we have? Yeah, we just have an ID here, but what we wanted was a pub title, which is going to be a string, and then we want a pub, what was it, pub content. It's also a string, and then we have a pub excerpt, which is also a string in this case, right? Oh, there you go. So title will be SeaORM, active value, set. And then we have the post, or the title in this case. The string. And we're going to have the same for all the others as well. So content, SeaORM, active value, set. I don't like all these like active value wrappers and stuff. Like why is it so difficult to just set it, to just have the API taking an actual string, and internally you convert all those things into, these active value representations. I think leaving it on the user is a little bit, well, interesting as an API, but there must be a reason, right? I just feel like they could have done a better job here. But content, of course, dot to string. And then we have the excerpt last, which is SeaORM active value set excerpt dot to string. Kind of like that, right? And right, so fruit set from JSON. Wait, what? So fruit set from JSON, no, we don't need that. We already have everything set, to be honest. And then we want to assert equals fruit active model. So create a new active. No, I just want to insert. How do I insert? Convert active model back to model. Insert one. Insert an active model and get back a fresh model. Pair fruit active model, set pair to owned. So we do dot insert. Okay, so post dot insert into the DB, which is the internal, and this is the interesting part because we haven't really taken a self thing in here. Self.db connection dot await. Going to return a result, and that's it. Now, what's the problem here? The operator has incomplete types. Operator cannot convert from model to result. Right, what does the insert method return? It returns a result as well. Oh wait, is it? Ah, okay, so async. What? But db.await, yeah, that's... Cannot convert from model. Wait, what type is this returning me? So this is a model. What is that? Ah, okay, yeah. That's fine. Yeah, I want to return the actual result and not the unwrapped version of the result, right? Found enum. Okay. Right, so what's the issue here? Expected enum, found result model. I just want to return the error up the stack. Why is this not working? Let's see. Rust anyhow convert from std result. That's what I want to do. So map the error to anyhow message error message. Okay. Anyhow. Okay, does that not work? No, it still doesn't work. Expected result of this, found result of model. Okay, is that better now? Okay. I'll do this later. I don't know how to map something into just nothing. Mismatch. Found expected reference. Found enum database connection. Yeah, we can do that. So we can take this as that. And there you go. That should mostly work, I guess, now. Hello, Vlad. How's it going, dude? How's it going, man? Hope you had a good weekend. Just realized that I still need to take a look at your CV, dude. I'll try and do that tonight after the stream. I finished work and I went straight into the computer again to do the stream. But, you know, it is what it is. Time is running short nowadays. Right, so this really doesn't do anything. I feel like Rust should have some kind of like way to just map your message to a different type. There you go. Those are the operations we're doing here. So yeah, this feels I don't like it. But anyway, so this is the whole thing that we needed to do. So hopefully now we have a main application here. And we have this add post function, which is an async. And it returns an error as well, from what I can understand. So let's do that. Returns a result of a string. So excerpt and content. Okay, yeah, we can just kind of take them as references, right? Okay, and the output is going to be returned. Maybe not. And is this gonna work? Is it gonna work? I don't know. What's the issue here? The syntax reminds me of JS. Yeah, it's extremely JS-y sometimes. It depends on what you're doing. So import future handle is not satisfied. See, the stuff with Rust that fucks up or that messes my head up is when you have like trait errors. They are not as friendly as normal compiler errors. So for example, it's saying that my handler function is not satisfying the trait handler. But I don't know why. It doesn't tell me why. And I find it very difficult to figure out sometimes. So, yeah. What we can do is we can just return a normal string again without the result. And just forget about the error. Just, you know, pretend the error doesn't exist. Now, this is probably going to make this compile again, right? Or maybe not. So why not? Now, this is the error. The trait handler is not satisfied for function, axiom JSON, future, whatever, bound by the call. But why not, though? So we have extract JSON at the very end, and we return a string here. Add post is just a function that returns an anyhow result. Is it this line that's messing up? Yeah, so you see that line, removing this line messes up my compilation. But why? Why is that? So database is coming from database lock. Okay. Is it because of this line? Let's figure out. So that still messes up. Yeah, so when you get to those errors in Rust, there's nothing else you can do except just commenting everything out and seeing exactly what's causing the issue. Because, yeah, it is difficult sometimes. Very difficult indeed. Is it because the function is async and it should really be not async? So if it's not async, then it works, you see. It's a dot away here. Yeah. So somehow making this function async causes it to break the compilation of my program for some reason. I don't exactly know why. But we gotta make it work asynchronous anyway because, yeah. Okay, that worked. I don't know why. Did I have two returns? Did I have two returns before? I think I might have, you know. Ah, okay, yeah. Calling the async in here. In the match doesn't quite work, does it? I put that in there, and then it doesn't compile. Yeah, I see. I see what's going on. So maybe this should be outside the match, because if I did something like this, then it could work. What am I actually trying to do here? So I'm trying to lock my database, right? So I'm doing something like, you know, let database equals database lock. Oh, database lock dot read. Oh, okay, I see. It's because it was a read thing. But actually, I want to write. Is that correct? Is that going to work now? No, still doesn't work. No, yeah, it still doesn't work. So let's try and do outside here. So let database equals database log.read. I definitely want to return the error here though, but I don't know what to do in this case. Because I want to get, yeah, let's just unwrap it. And at this point, we can just do that up here. No, it still doesn't like it. It still does not like that. As soon as I have the await here, this is when it doesn't like that. So the trait handler is not implemented for function arc, whatever, JSON, required by a bound introduced by this call. I don't know what it is. I have no idea. I'm just gonna have to Google now because I'm out of ideas. Oh my god, I'm not reading this entire answer. Oh, mate, 1 second. Is it because this database? No, it can't be. I was wondering if the database pointer has to be send, but it is because it's in a read-write lock. Yeah, guys, I have no idea here. We have hit an issue. Import into response. So whenever I comment this line out, it builds. Whenever I uncomment this, it doesn't build. So somehow this function call here is causing a big issue. Big issue indeed. But this is just an asynchronous function that's returning a result. I am very confused as to why this happens to just fail. Because this is certainly confusing. It returns a pin box of future send, which is in a way. And then there's a model, and then it's nothing. So having this function async causes it to not compile up here. Which is interesting. And it's all because of this call here. So this is the culprit. Tell you what, I have no idea what it is, but I will fix this. And when I do, I'll let you guys know on stream. But right now, I'm kind of falling asleep. So I hope that you guys forgive me for this. We're going to leave this bug here for today. But I will fix this. Promised, I will read into this. It's just one of those obscure Axiom errors that I usually waste hours and hours on until I find a solution. But we'll fix it. But anyway, thank you all for joining today. It has been a very long stream. It's like 2 hours and a half, which is usually half an hour longer than I usually do. But I enjoyed talking to everyone today. We had quite a good chat earlier on in the stream. There was a lot of people here. I appreciate everyone joining. I appreciate all the support, guys. But I'm going to get some sleep. And until next time, I'll see you in a bit. Bye-bye.